Alright, just the normal school stuff happening still. Grand. Okay, so I was working on blue. That's right. Getting blue to fitty. I'll just keep working on that then. If I had money, I could, you know, do other things, but that's not gonna happen. By other things, I mean buy a blue charm to make this go a little faster, but that's fine. Ah! Alright, I can't wait to hear about the truest lover nanobot. Today, the Literature Club meets to discuss the truest lover. I can't believe you made us read a romance novel.
A book is a book. It's not fair to dismiss them just because mostly housewives read them.
Dang, judgmental much, Ellen?
We're not housewives.
Is it... female voice? I mean, it could be Miss Darden, it could be Potsdam. If you'll pause a moment, children. Alright, it was Miss Darden. Now, y'all might consider this just a book. But no. A substantial share of all books sold in this country are romance. So if you want to learn about people's culture, you can't ignore the parts that aren't like you. Dang. Miss Darden came and just dropped a truth bomb and then went back to her desk. Thanks, Miss Darden.
She returns to her desk. Right. So, what can we learn from this book? Why is it popular?
Well, the murder mystery part was interesting, but that didn't start until really late in the story. And there were too many sex scenes.
I guess that means that readers enjoy a lot of sex scenes, doesn't it?
Ugh. Poor Donald.
The murder plot gives the couple something to do other than kiss, so they can investigate together. And because it's a romance novel, you know it will have a happy ending, so you don't have to worry too much.
I guess it's nice to see that people buy books about pleasant things happening, not only about horror. It's book 10 in a series, so it must be popular. And every book is about another man in the same family finding love in marriage. Which shows that those things are very important to popular culture. It's a pattern that they expect everyone to fit. We talk a while longer about the role of marriage in society as a marker of adulthood, and whether that's fair and appropriate since not everyone wants or needs to be married. Ellen points out that it's especially meaningful when the protagonists are noble, and therefore obligated to carry on their family lines, which makes me squirm a bit. There's no new book at the end of the meeting because of spring break coming up. I'll pick up the next set of books at the beginning of next month.
Aw, but I'm excited to hear what you're gonna read next time. What will it be? Well, no nanobots, so... don't know whether to be happy about that or disappointed. Alright, we're almost at 50. Not too much longer. Oh, exam again. This is probably the moth one. So I'll get the red charm on. Here we go! Yep.
I find myself in a dungeon corridor near a hole that leads down out of sight. Clustered in front of the abyss are a group of small creatures with bodies covered in red fur, save for their angry, wrinkled faces.
There are no stairs out of this dungeon. You must accomplish a task in order to succeed. One of the red dwarves has been taken captive. Find and return him safely to his companions. Be warned that magic may prove unreliable.
The voice fades away. So, I have to help these dwarves. Will they help me?
Alright. And we're off again. Okay. Just for fun. Do I have Televoke still? I have Telepire. I have Mindstorm, Ground Spell, Sacrifice. Okay. Oh, that is definitely not good for here. I guess I could try Telepire. What else do I have? I could boost my strength and then heal myself. Well, let's see. How much? I have 53 mana. Okay. Let's try it. Doesn't activate the thing, though. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I could teleport myself. Now the real question is, will Croup be hurt by that? Hopefully not. Alright, buddy. You can go ahead of me. See, you're not... Man, what a nice thing to have to not be affected by that. Now I can't actually get through it, so I'll have to boost my strength. Although what happens if I just wait? Ah, sweet. I didn't even have to go through there.
A high-pitched chime rings through the dungeon corridors. The will begins to slip away.
What a smart name, Rouge.
When I can feel my feet again, I am standing in the school quad and I have to shield my eyes against the sunlight.
Congratulations, Franko! You returned Croup to his friends. As I'm sure you notice, Names Rouges are highly resistant to magic, which can make them targets. For succeeding in your quest, you receive 5 merits. And how clever of you to let sleeping moths lie. It can be easier to avoid a fight than to win one. Have another 5 merits for accomplishing your goal without any injuries.
Man, I'm like maxed on merits.
I hope you enjoyed putting your skills into practice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have another student to look after.
Looks like I'm finished for the day.
Alright, I'll take it. Ah, a notice for the spring play. We'll have to see if we can take a certain snake lady with us. Diary? Yeah. Anything happen? Book club, yes.
We met to discuss a romance novel and why these books are so popular.
Alright, fair enough. Done.
Alright, as I get out of bed, I remember the spring play. Corrinna enjoys the arts. Would she be interested in attending the play?
Yeah.
I wish I'd thought of it earlier, as I don't actually know where to find Corrinna on a regular day. I make my way to Snake Hall and awkwardly ask around to find which room is Corinna's. However, the snake advises me that she is absolutely not a morning person, and if I want to talk to her, I should probably try after class.
Thank you. I mean, a vampire probably wouldn't be a morning person, it's true.
Fine then. What should I do this week?
Stress is getting up there, but we could probably do... Should I sleep at the end? I'll try to power through. Might be the worst decision ever, but we'll see.
After classes, I go to Snake Hall to knock on Corinna's door.
Hello? Oh, Good afternoon, Franko.
Good afternoon. I was wondering if you were interested in attending the spring play this Friday evening.
Yes, I was planning to attend.
Would you like to sit together then? Perhaps we could discuss the show afterwards.
All right.
I will look forward to it. Have a good day.
And you as well.
We nod to each other and she returns to her room. So that's planned.
That was such a straightforward, easy, like, hey, you're going? Yeah, I'm gonna go. You want to sit together and talk about it after? Sure. Great. See you then. Okay. Bye-bye. Dang. So simple. I'm forever amazed at Franko's confidence and just like, I'm gonna knock on a person's door I've talked to 3 times and ask if they want to go to the play with me. And it goes just swimmingly well for him. So good. Alright. So, we finished, yes? Yeah.
Corrinna sticks close to me even after we manage to make our way through the maze of bodies. Are you all right?
Oh, I never feel very comfortable around so many strangers. They make a great deal of noise.
I can still hear the distant shuffling of the crowds, but it doesn't bother me. She must be more sensitive.
With her bat-like hearing.
What did you think of the show?
I'm not sure why it's a comedy if the whole cast dies by the end.
Well, of course, it is a tragedy in the classical sense. Felicity is turned to disaster through the protagonist's tragic flaw. However, modern language prefers not to use the term tragedy unless a story leaves you feeling sad at the end. In classical tragedies, you were meant to purge your emotions during the story and then feel relief afterwards, not sadness. A black comedy is often tragic, but it purges emotions through laughter and discomfort instead of tears.
You sound like you've had this conversation before.
I was very fond of my high school English teacher.
English isn't your first language. You speak it so well.
Oh, I'm sorry. English literature. I should have been more precise.
It was my mistake. So, because it's a black comedy, the audience is meant to laugh at the characters' deaths.
Their personalities and flaws are exaggerated so that we don't completely identify with them. Then, when they make mistakes, we think that we would never be so foolish, and we laugh.
I nod. Thank you for attending with me.
Thank you for being interested in my viewpoint.
She bobs her head slightly, almost like a tiny curtsy, and then walks away. Oh, I forgot to ask her what she was doing for spring break. Well, I'm sure I'll see her again next month. For now, I should go back to my room and wait for Grabner.
You better go find her next month, man. There's not a lot of time left. If we're gonna ask her to do the dance, or ask her to dance, or whatever, however we're doing this. However this is gonna happen. Okay, so... making plans.
I invited Corrinna to see the play with me on Friday.
And black comedy.
Corrinna and I attended the spring play, which was a musical comedy about killer plants. Afterwards, we talked about dramatic classifications.
Alright. Sounds good.
Oh. First thing on Monday morning, I get up to go to the library. There's no sign of Miss Darden when I arrive. Am I too early? We had arranged for me to pick up the next set of books for our discussion club after the break, but she might not have expected me to show up before classes. I'm not sure I've really looked at the library desk without her behind it. I never noticed that crystal dish full of paper clips before. Or that bell. It's probably meant to summon the librarian, but if I'm here too early, is it right to demand that she come here to serve me? She might be asleep or having her breakfast. The books for our club are probably tucked away on a shelf behind the desk. If I take them and leave a note, I'm sure she won't mind.
Am Not gonna find, like, skeletons in Miss Darden's closet? Desk? Skeletons? I think the polite thing to do would be this, but curiosity.
I'll just ease around the edge of the desk.
Yeah, I figured.
I feel dizzy.
Mr. Franko! Mr. Franko!
Huh? I opened my eyes to find myself sitting in a chair at the school library, my face pressed against the table. I must have nodded off for a moment. That's the problem with getting out of bed too early.
So he doesn't remember. Interesting.
Miss Darden is standing behind the library desk. Good. Now I can get what I came for. Good morning. I'm here for the club books.
It's nice to see y'all are still taking an interest.
She brings out a stack of books, each titled The Disappearing Act.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Alright. I figure this is like getting back. I'm gonna load. I figure she'll just appear then. This is very interesting.
The bell's note is piercingly high-pitched, sending a swift pain shooting through my head as I ring it. I take a seat and wait, watching the door. If she doesn't arrive within a few minutes, I can always come back later.
Good morning.
What? I turn my attention back to the desk to see Miss Darden standing there. How? It's too early in the morning. I must have blanked out.
Interesting. Learn some interesting... I kind of want to do the whole sneaking behind the desk thing. That's interesting.
I peer at the book's cover. A murderer who is a master of illusion. Does that mean magic? Well, I've got a week to read it. Before then, I need to set my schedule for the week.
Very, very interesting. Okay, so we're at blue, so I'll take a white. And the next thing I need to do is actually just get white to 85. So I guess I'll work on that now. And that'll be all the white combo magic spells. Alright, we haven't learned this yet.
For every spell, there is a counter spell. More or less. Just as we have spells that can affect the minds of others, we have spells that can enhance our own minds. Some spells expand your horizons or allow your thoughts to swim more swiftly. Others focus your sense of self, helping to hold it stable in a world full of change and confusion. This spell builds a garden wall around your thoughts, keeping those delicate blooms safe from outside influence. While it lasts, other workings of white magic that try to affect your thinking will be turned aside. Of course, it is not an actual wall, so it won't be of any help if someone throws a rock at your head.
Mind wall. You are protected against mental attacks for 5 turns. Okay. Interesting. We'll skip through our council meeting again. Okay.
After classes, I go to Snake Hall to knock on Corrinna's door.
Hello? Oh, good afternoon, Franko. It's nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you as well. I came by to bring you a copy of our next book club title. She takes the book.
That looks very interesting, thank you.
How was your spring break?
Very quiet. I'm afraid I stayed in my room most of the time. I don't have any exciting stories.
Well, you have graduation approaching. That must give you a lot to think about.
Yes, many changes. I've been expecting them for some time, but that sometimes makes one more apprehensive.
Do you have plans for what you'll do after the school year finishes?
There are some decisions I still need to make.
I'm sorry. I didn't intend to pry.
Oh, no. It's quite all right. Might I ask for your opinion on something?
Certainly, but I don't think I know enough to offer advice. I don't know how American wizards entering adulthood...
Oh, no, it's not about that. It's a school question.
Alright.
Last year, I was selected to become the new Queen of the May. It's a ceremonial role for the final ball.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It is intended as an honor to be chosen.
Intended?
Well, a ceremonial role should be held by someone who represents the qualities being celebrated, for symbolism. I heard them say that I was chosen because I'm pretty.
And that's not the quality that the May Queen is meant to symbolize?
It shouldn't be. As the May Queen, it is also my responsibility to choose a princess from the junior class to be my successor, with advice from my fellow seniors.
So there's some disagreement. She looks back and forth down the hallway.
Will you step outside with me? I don't want to be overheard.
Of course.
How interesting. I wasn't expecting this this turn of events.
I follow Corrinna away from Snake Hall. I notice that she keeps to the shadows of the trees whenever possible. I suppose she doesn't want to attract attention.
Man, they really want to hammer you over the head with, what if she's a vampire, though?
A faint tingle of magic settles around us, and our footsteps pick up tiny echoes. A spell to trap sound.
It's supposed to be a secret, you see, especially since it isn't quite decided yet. I wanted to choose Winifred, but everyone insists that it should be Laurel.
I don't know either of these girls.
Oh, I'm sorry. Laurel is in Butterfly Hall. She has blonde and pink hair and freckles, and she's very popular.
I think I may have seen a girl like that in the cafeteria once or twice, surrounded by a mob of friends.
Winifred is a snake. She doesn't have many friends, and she doesn't look like a girl in a magazine.
Basically, she's not pretty.
Ouch.
But she's such a sweet girl. She likes flowers. She helps people, even if they aren't kind to her. She deserves to be recognized for that. She deserves to have nice things happen to her. Why should the pretty people get all the prizes? They're already pretty. They don't need more.
I don't know anyone involved, and I'm not familiar with this tradition, but she did ask for my help. The May Festival is celebrating love and flowers and fertility and beauty, isn't it?
And purity.
But beauty is expected to be important. If Winifred knows that she's not considered pretty, would she even want to be chosen? She might think that you were setting her up to be laughed at.
I would never do anything like that.
It would be different if the senior class came together to honor her as a choice. But you said they don't want her to be chosen. They might laugh.
I suppose you might be right.
You can still choose her if you want to. But if you're doing it for her, be sure it's what she wants. Otherwise, you could just do something nice for her yourself.
Yes, you're right. I should think about it. Thank you for listening.
You're welcome. She dips her head in farewell, then walks away, her sound spell dissipating. As she passes through a sunbeam, I blink. Her shadow is twisting? It was probably just the wind moving the branches of the trees. Shadow shifts so easily. But if it wasn't...
But if it wasn't Franko, what? If it wasn't Franko, what? Explain yourself, Franko. Can't just leave me hanging like that. That was a really nice scene. Like, Franko gave that a lot of sincere thought and brought up some good points. For a minute there, I thought I was gonna have a choice to choose between Winifred and Laurel, but... yes, you can, of course, do that. Study with Minnie. Alright, let's read about that lovely chat we had. Mysterious books.
I picked up the next title for the book club, which may be a murder mystery involving magic. I had planned to look behind Miss Darden's desk, but apparently I fell asleep in the library instead. I must have been very tired.
Okay, that. Shadows and Rumors.
I brought Corrinna the latest book for our club, and she asked my advice about the selection of a new May princess. Her shadow looked odd in the sunlight. I'm not sure what that means.
Are you? Are you not? I'm curious. Okay, nothing updated there. Nothing updated there. Haven't checked that in a while, so I thought I should probably do that. And, okay. We should be able to get our last white magic. Do sleep there. Well, it's my last $5, Luke. And of course Suki beat me. Dang it!
Today, the Literature Club meets to discuss The Disappearing Act.
It's interesting how this book is all about magic, but not about magic at all. As far as we know.
What do you mean?
Well, the murderer is a stage magician. His illusions aren't like blue magic. He can't alter objects, so he distracts your attention while he changes them behind the scenes. The audience can't see what he's really doing, so they accept the explanation that it's magic. But doesn't it work the other way as well? If you distract someone, you can convince them that what they're seeing isn't magic. It's only a coincidence.
Saves a lot of trouble on cleanup.
What does this book, being popular, tell us about modern society?
Oh, Corinna's here.
I believe it shows how people are fascinated by the same things that they instinctively distrust. They want to see a magic show, but they expect it to be lies and trickery.
I think a lot of audiences mostly want to see ladies wearing sequins and big bursts of fire.
That's a circus act. Isn't it telling that the magician is the murderer? The reader already expects him to be untrustworthy. In many murder mysteries, the eventual killer is someone who seemed harmless, someone surprising. Here, we know all along who must have been responsible, even if we can't prove it until the end. In any other story, the obvious suspect would be a red herring.
Maybe that's how it's supposed to mislead you.
We chat for a while about how stage magic affects the low world perception of magic and unexplained happenings. When we're done, we return our copies to Miss Darden and wait for our final book club discussion subject.
Now this next book, it's something special. It's just flying up the charts. I was lucky to get these copies. I see a change coming. There'll be more like this in the future.
She hands me a book, The Southcott Prophecies. Prophecies? Is that why she's talking about the future? I turn the book over. It mentions something about the Catholic Church and an international conspiracy. Could be interesting.
Very. You've piqued my interest, Miss Darden. Alright, time for the thunder call. Oh!
I can't spot Corrinna in the crowds. Either she's hiding in the shadows, or she decided to celebrate this particular tradition elsewhere.
That's nice that we looked for her. Study? I'm starting to get money again. Nice. Let's see... Book club?
We met to discuss a book about a stage magician who committed a string of murders and then faked his own death using the principles of artifice and misdirection. Much more like white magic than blue, although of course no real magic is involved.
And that was that. Alright. Well, I guess we'll see if we run into Corrinna some more.